1 year ago today, Florida faced a storm unlike any other.
Hurricane Milton didn't just bring wind and rain. It caused a historic tornado outbreak across Palm Beach County, Okeechobee, and the Treasure Coast, leaving behind heartbreak and devastation. 15
lives lost, over $34 billion in damage, and 45 confirmed tornadoes, the most devastating striking our area. A violent one, that tornado right there, crossing I-95 and then barrels towards Port Salerno in Martin County, causing power flashes.
Another twister ripped through the village of Wellington. Now this tornado video looking just as vicious as the last. As you can see, roofs ripped off homes left unrecognizable.
That same tornado gaining strength into an EF3 as it tracked north into Palm Beach Gardens. Homes in that development, it was still developing at the time, Avenir community, just capturing winds, whipping around homes. You could see busting windows, tossing lanai furniture. The twister was so strong it flung a dumpster on the roof of a house, and it wasn't small either.
Well, two tornadoes also leveled homes up in Okeechobee County. An EF2 tornado swiftly moved a manufactured home right off of its foundation. A steel barn had metal torn right off, and some homes had their roofs partially ripped off. Now we have team coverage of our reporters, some in these communities today. Jack Wu is in Spanish Lakes, where there's been so much loss, but also so much resilience.
And our storm track meteorologist Michael Ehrenberg is helping us understand how this tornado outbreak happened and the possibility of it happening again.
Yeah, but first, let's go to Al Peffley with a harrowing story in the Mariner Sand community of Stuart. Al?
The couple you're about to meet lost everything in the tornado exactly 1 year ago today. Their home was completely gone. In fact, they've chosen to rebuild their new home in the very same spot where their original home once stood.
I was underneath that debris. I was underneath that beam.
1 year ago, George Bustillo, a retired airline pilot, showed us where he was and described the nightmare he and his wife went through when a tornado blew apart their three-bedroom house in Mariner Sands on October 9th, 2024.
It was 1 second explosion. Everything goes into the house, all the windows, everything, all the force of that tornado comes in, and the next second, the whole roof collapses on me and I'm pinned.
Still photos from that day show Bustillo trapped under the rubble before he was rescued. Remarkably, he says he was not injured, and neither was his wife.
I heard a tremendous noise, as though it was a plane crash or a train crash or a car crash. Within seconds, I looked up and there was no roof.
The roof was torn off. Part of it ended up in their swimming pool.
I didn't have time to be frightened. I did not have time. Within seconds, it was over.
It's terrifying, but at the same time, you're alive, and so you're so grateful to be alive, and you can't believe that you survived this.
Bustillo says a neighbor rescued him using a jack to prop up debris.
We took a direct hit from the tornado, so our home was totally leveled, nothing left.
All the couple had worked for, the home where they had lived since 2013, his Harley Davidson, all their furniture and possessions, clothing, you name it, just about everything they owned was gone. The EF2 tornado captured on their car's dash camera. Bustillo says over 40 homes on their street, Burning Tree Circle, were either damaged or destroyed by the twister. Now, a year later, some of those homes are still waiting to be repaired.
We were homeless, but we weren't hopeless, and we were able to rebuild a home and continue with our lives.
The Bustillos just moved into their new home 3 weeks ago. They built this home on the same spot their last home was destroyed.
It's a long process. It takes patience, perseverance, and teamwork to rebuild.
But this home has one feature the last home did not.
In the future, if we do have a tornado situation, we built this closet into a bunker with a steel door.
It was a year ago today, and the tornado took our home, but it didn't take our lives. I think that's the bottom line.
George and his wife say they hope that the fact that they were able to get through this disaster might inspire others in a similar disaster to stay focused and stay positive, because they say that's what really matters. Live in Stuart, Al Peffley, CBS 12 News.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, no, wait, keep coming.
And here's another view. We got our hands on the dramatic rescue of the Bastillos. Morgan County deputies arriving on scene moments after that tornado flattened their home. To watch the full body camera video of that rescue, you could head over to our YouTube page. Just search for CBS 12 News.
Well, that same tornado tore through Murray Middle School up in Port Salerno. The band and chorus room were damaged, and the roof of the agriculture building was also ripped off. Now, since the storm, Murray Middle has received more than $1 million for repairs. Recovery looks very different wherever you go. The village of Wellington received grant money to replant uprooted trees and restore some of the greenery in that area. The Arbor Day Foundation helped secure more than $50,000 in funding for this.
Spanish Lakes was once a quiet retirement community in St. Lucie County, but it became ground zero for one of Hurricane Milton's deadliest tornadoes. 6 people were killed, more than 100 homes. They were left damaged or destroyed. CBS 12's Treasure Coast reporter Jack Wu takes us back inside the devastation, and he shows us how residents are rebuilding 1 year later. Jack.
Lucie, Stephanie, there were only 2 EF2 tornadoes produced by Hurricane Milton, one of them hitting this neighborhood where I'm standing right now. You could see the impacts and see where homes rebuilt. Like this one behind me, you could see the steel metal roof. Others didn't get new roofs, but you can tell by the fresh coats of paint and even still seeing some of the steel slats over the windows. And I spoke with residents in this area. They still carry the memories of this, either for better or for worse. A road to recovery 1 year later. Hurricane Milton brought tornadoes to the Treasure Coast last October. The Spanish Lakes community near Fort Pierce experienced over triple-digit wind speeds, ripping apart homes and devastating families. Gina moved into the neighborhood less than a year before the tornado hit. Even with her roof torn apart, she says she's one of the lucky ones.
We still had a home. These other people don't have homes. So when you get in places where you feel bad for yourself, you stop and give gratitude because you actually still have something.
Other people still carry the tornadoes with them emotionally. Virginia had less damage to her home, but says the memory of that day is still fresh in her mind.
I did have PSD for a while. I was really, really scared. If I heard a loud noise or something, I would, like, wow, or the wind came up. But now I'm just kind of, I prayed about it and things are getting much better.
Many homes are seen with new metal roofs while others were damaged beyond repair, as seen by the empty dirt lots. Despite this, some residents decided to stay.
We came to Florida for a purpose, and we really felt like we were supposed to be here. Our neighbors became family, community, and it could happen anywhere. We're still here because we're supposed to be. You just don't pack up every time something bad happens.
6 people in this community died that day, and there's over millions in damages. Still remnants of that hanging around. We were walking around here earlier, saw some of the metal hanging in the trees from homes, also saw some debris still scattered around. Reporting in St. Lucie County, I'm Jack Wu, CBS 12 News.